In a world where love often feels temporary, where swiping left or right determines whether someone is worth your time, and where so many people chase fleeting connections rather than deep emotional bonds, it's easy to question whether true love still exists. But it does. And when you find someone who makes your soul feel safe, who stands by you through the highs and the lows, you begin to realize that real love is not a fantasy. It's rare, it's real, and it's worth everything. But how do you know if the person you're with is truly worth holding on to? How can you tell if they're not just a chapter, but the entire book? Sometimes it's not about grand gestures or dramatic declarations. It's about the quiet, consistent ways they show up. When you're with someone who genuinely values your heart, respects your mind, and protects your peace, that's someone you don't let go of. Let's dive into 8 powerful signs that the person in your life isn't just passing through. They're a keeper. One of the most telling signs someone is worth keeping is they accept you exactly as you are while inspiring you to become better. This kind of love doesn't feel like pressure or comparison. It feels like encouragement. You never feel like you're being asked to shrink yourself or pretend to be someone you're not. You don't have to wear a mask around them because they see you, even the parts you hide from the world, and they still choose you. Yet they also challenge you to rise, not by criticizing or controlling, but by believing in your potential even when you doubt yourself. They cheer for your growth and stand with you through your struggles. They don't want to change you. They want to walk beside you as you evolve. This kind of presence is rare because it reflects maturity, understanding, and unconditional love. They know you're not perfect and they love you anyway. In that space, real transformation happens. And when someone helps you become the best version of yourself, while never asking you to be anything other than who you already are, you've found something special. Another deep sign that someone is worth keeping is they communicate openly and honestly, even when it's hard. Love isn't built on silence or avoidance. It's built on vulnerability, truth, and the courage to speak openly. When your partner is a keeper, they don't hide behind vague answers, ghost you when things get tough, or give you the silent treatment to manipulate your emotions. Instead, they speak with clarity, listen with presence, and face difficult conversations with grace. They're not perfect at it, but they try. They don't sweep issues under the rug or bottle up resentment until it explodes. They understand that communication is the bridge that keeps your hearts connected. Even when emotions run high, you don't feel confused about where you stand with them. They're transparent about their intentions, honest about their feelings, and brave enough to admit when they're wrong. This kind of integrity builds trust. It lets you exhale, knowing you're not walking on eggshells. When someone respects you enough to communicate openly, they're not just protecting the relationship, they're protecting your peace. A third sign they're a keeper is they show up when it matters most. Anyone can stand by you when everything is easy, when you're shining, when life is smooth. But a keeper stays when the storm hits. They hold your hand when you're breaking, sit beside you in your silence, and love you when you feel least lovable. They don't disappear when you're struggling. They don't back away when you're going through depression, job loss, or emotional setbacks. Instead, they become your safe space. Their presence becomes an anchor in your chaos. You can rely on them, not just for romantic gestures, but for strength, consistency, and reliability. You don't have to question if they'll show up. They already have. They make the relationship a priority, not just when it's convenient, but when it's uncomfortable, messy, and raw. They carry the relationship with you, shoulder to shoulder. That level of devotion is rare in a world of instant gratification and shallow connections. When someone proves they won't leave when things get hard, they're proving they're in it for real. A fourth sign of a keeper is they celebrate your individuality and encourage your independence. Love should never feel like a cage. A healthy partner doesn't try to own you, control your dreams, or clip your wings. Instead, they support your journey. They want to see you thrive in your career, chase your passions, and maintain friendships that make you feel alive. They understand that being in love doesn't mean losing your identity. In fact, they respect your need for space, personal growth, and autonomy. They don't feel threatened by your strength. They're inspired by it. And when you achieve something important, they don't get jealous or insecure. They clap the loudest. Not because they need attention, but because your success feels like theirs too. With them, you don't feel smothered, you feel free. And in that freedom, you love deeper, grow stronger, and become more of yourself. That's the kind of relationship that lasts. Not because you depend on each other to survive, but because you choose each other while still standing in your own light. Another undeniable sign they're a keeper is they respect your boundaries and prioritize your emotional safety. In a healthy relationship, you should never feel pressured to cross your limits, whether emotional, physical, or mental. A partner who respects your boundaries shows that they value not just your body, but your heart, mind, and spirit. They listen when you say no. They check in instead of assuming. They don't guilt trip you into doing things you're uncomfortable with. Instead, they create a space where your voice matters, your feelings are valid, and your comfort is important. When someone consistently respects your boundaries, it means they're not just focused on getting what they want. They care about how you feel. Emotional safety isn't created through grand gestures. It's built through consistent respect. You can express yourself without fear of being judged, mocked, or dismissed. You can disagree without it turning into a war. This kind of mutual respect is the foundation of trust. Without it, love becomes fragile. With it, love becomes unbreakable. The sixth sign you're with someone truly worth keeping is they practice accountability and take responsibility for their actions. No one is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes, gets defensive, or says things they don't mean. But a keeper doesn't let ego win. They don't blame you for everything that goes wrong or twist the story to avoid admitting fault. When they mess up, they own it. They apologize sincerely, without making excuses or playing the victim. They reflect on their behavior and make an effort to grow from it. That level of maturity is a gift. It shows they care more about the health of the relationship than their pride. They're willing to repair, to learn, and to evolve. And that creates a dynamic where growth is possible for both of you. You don't feel like you're fighting against them. You're fighting together side by side against the problem. Accountability builds emotional safety. It teaches you that even when things go wrong, the relationship won't fall apart, because both people are invested in making it better. A seventh sign someone is a keeper is they bring peace into your life, not chaos. Love isn't supposed to feel like a constant roller coaster of confusion, anxiety, and drama. A keeper brings a steady, calming energy into your world. You don't feel like you're always bracing for the next argument or decoding mixed signals. Instead, you feel grounded. Their presence soothes you, their words reassure you, and their consistency makes you feel safe. That doesn't mean everything is perfect or conflict never happens. But even during disagreements, you feel heard, respected, and emotionally safe. Your nervous system relaxes around them. You don't have to chase them, beg for attention, or wonder where you stand. Love shouldn't feel like emotional warfare. It should feel like coming home. When you find someone who brings you peace in a world full of noise, who makes the chaos quiet down just by being near, you found someone incredibly valuable. The eighth and final sign they're a keeper is they envision a future with you and take steps toward building it. It's not just about vague promises or romantic fantasies. It's about actions. A keeper doesn't leave you guessing about their intentions. They're clear about wanting you in their life long term. They involve you in important decisions, introduce you to their inner circle, and talk about the future with we instead of I. Oh, they don't shy away from commitment. They embrace it, not out of obligation, but because they genuinely see you as part of their journey. They ask about your goals, care about your dreams, and make plans that include you. This kind of partnership feels like teamwork. You're not walking alone, you're building something beautiful together. You know you're not just someone to pass the time with. You're someone they want to grow with. When someone makes you feel like a priority, not an option, and treats the relationship like a shared mission, they're showing you that their love isn't temporary, it's intentional. And that's the kind of love you never walk away from. Real love isn't always loud. It doesn't always shout from the rooftops or write poems in the sky. Sometimes, real love whispers in the small moments, in the way they check on you when you're quiet, stand beside you when life is tough, and support your dreams even when they don't benefit from them. Sometimes it looks like silent sacrifices, consistent effort, and deep-rooted respect. The kind of love that lasts isn't built in a day. It's built in daily decisions, the choice to stay, to listen, to grow, to fight for each other. When you find someone who embodies these 8 signs, you're not just experiencing love, you're witnessing a partnership that has the strength to endure. Not everyone you meet will deserve your forever, but when you meet someone who truly values your heart, never takes your soul for granted, and treats your love like the treasure it is, hold on tight, because you've found a keeper.